Mark Elbury, sorry. What's the best crowd reaction you've been a part of? Outside event or indoor arena?
Indoor arena. I mean, Saturday was great because it was like a festival. You know, in Hearn it was beautiful weather and so forth. Froch Kessler was just incredible. Froch Butte was incredible. Brooke Hatton was incredible. Do you know, like one of the, I don't know, when Kel Brook did his first fight for us at Hillsborough Leisure Centre, when he walked out for all the lights for the first time, that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, and there was only 1,500. I mean, it was banged out, but that was, to see his face get that kind of reaction, that was pretty special for me.
Okay. Paul Cushion, in the years to come, when you eventually retire, what legacy would you like to leave behind?
I'd like people to look back and think he changed the face of British boxing, or look what he did for the sport. Because that's, you know, my old man's done that for a lot of sports, and that's something that I'd like to have a positive effect on boxing, and for people to turn around and say he was good for the sport.
Okay. S. Mills or Smills and Alan Mace, and there was a couple of other people as well that asked about this. Plans to do a show in Birmingham.
Yeah, looking at it for November actually. I mean, we just need one big draw from Birmingham. We've got a lot coming through, but we need that big name who's going to sell in Birmingham. Maybe it's bringing another one of our matchroom fighters to Birmingham.
Yeah. Someone who lives near there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's only, I mean, other than Frankie Gavin, tell me another big Brummy fighter.
Clarify.
No, he will be in time, but I'm saying at the moment in our stable we'd probably have to bring a fighter to Birmingham. You know what I'm saying? Rather than, because we haven't got the big Brummy.
Okay. Parody F 2004. Parody F. Paddy F 2004. What are your thoughts on parody accounts, and what is your favourite nickname?
The Eddie Hearn's parody account is quite funny, as is the @FrankWarrenBox. I haven't got a clue who's done it. People think it's people I know. Listen, as long as they don't overstep the mark and start, you know, saying outrageous personal stuff or abuse and stuff like that, I mean, those two are actually funny. They're tongue in cheek and they're funny.
The nickname would be Fast Car.
Yeah.
Big up.
Or Earn with Hearn.
Earn with Hearn. Big up Brian King for that one. Stuart Street, will Matchroom look to have their own TV channel in the future?
No, never.
Never?
It's not the demand.
No, but never. You still say that.
All right, never say never, Kugan. But look, when we're on the biggest sport platform in the UK.
Okay. Charlie Foley, which sports person is the most demanding to manage, or has been, and why?
Demanding?
Yeah, you know, like, bring me my Vita Coca water.
Well, we've never managed Mr. T.
No?
With my Vita Coca, I ain't getting on no plane.
Yeah.
No. Froch can be a little bit of a diva sometimes. But mainly just, not like with his request, just it depends what kind of mood you get him in. All these young kids coming out of GB setup, they all want the Reyes gloves, the boots, the Susie Wongs, you know, the crates of the Vita Coco. But you know what, I like to spoil them. I want them to feel special, I want them to feel like superstars. So maybe it's my fault.
Okay. Ryan Hutchins, would you ever consider doing an open day for boxers, like similar to what David Hay does for the fans? Would you consider doing one?
Yeah, I think what Hay does is great with him. I mean, the answer is yes, just the time thing.
He's got another one next week, by the way, at Vauxhall Gym next Saturday.
There's not many people that could create the demand for an open day.
Okay.
Maybe half a dozen fighters in the country.
Anna Starr, Eddie, where would you place yourself in the boxing pound for pound sexiest men, and who is better looking than you in boxing?
I don't know. There's not a lot. I mean, I ain't got a lot of competition, have I? Are you in the list as well? Because
No,
I mean, you're a bit of a hunt these days,
I
aren't you?
think they mean like powerhouse people, not mugs from the internet. I think they mean proper boxing.
I've got to be up there, haven't I?
What do you reckon you are?
I don't know, somewhere around like the
Colwell's got to be ahead of you. Colwell's
some-
quite small and hunky, isn't he?
somewhere around the 1 mark. I don't know.
God, this is
I
what
might be the best of a bad bunch. That's the problem.
Okay. James Hulkey, I like this question actually. Oh, by the way, you're giving away a prize for the best question.
Am I?
Yeah,
You can choose it.
Take something from your office. James Hulkey, if you were out drinking and it kicked off, Like, just name 3 boxers, past or present, that you'd want with you. That's good. I like that one.
Lee Purdy.
Yeah.
I do present first, right?
Go on.
If it all kicked off. Lee Purdy, Kell Brook, maybe Froch, but I'm trying to think who's a lunatic.
I don't think Bellew
Probably
would...
Gavin Rees.
Gavin Rees.
Yeah. Yeah, Gavin Rees. Purdy, Rees. Who's the other one? And Brook, probably. And then past, Nigel Benn.
I'll tell you what.
Young Richie Everett, who's no longer with us,
Yeah.
from Coventry, he was a
Yeah.
tough man. And not sure about the other one. Just think about matchroom fighters. Maybe little Francis Ampofa. You would probably wouldn't remember him, but
Was he there the other day?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Do you know what? We just mugged Burger right off. We didn't even ask his question.
Did we?
No, I didn't.
What did
We
he
just
ask?
got him to apologise.
Oh,
for
sorry,
calling him
Burger.
that. But he just said, what fight would you like to make within the next year that hasn't been made now?
Brook against Khan.
Yeah, make that fight. Make that fight, Hearn. Phil Brown. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your knowledge of the business side of boxing?
What, 10 being the most? Only because I think, you're always learning, aren't you? But 9.
Really?
Yeah. It's not rocket science. The
Yeah, but-
business
do you know-
side.
No, but what that means is that you've been doing it for 2.5 years, and if you're on 9,
Yeah, but-
that means that
Yeah,
there
but
isn't
Coog,
that
you've
much.
got to understand, I've been around the boxing business years and years and years. I've just been in it, as in applying it. I would say 9. Boxing business isn't rocket science. I think the bigger side is on the promotional side, on the marketing side, the PR, social media. You're always learning, you're always developing new ideas and fresh ideas, but it's not a great deal to understand.
Okay. Dave Reed, are you frightened to put Simmons in with Camacho, and can it happen?
No, that's a great fight, but they're 2 fighters that are being built up. Makes no sense for Waddy to go to Scotland right now. It makes no sense for Stephen to come to London. In 3 or 4 fights time, it could be for the British title or something like that. But no, I'm just scared. It's not me getting into the ring, is it? So if they both want the fight and the money's right and it's a good opportunity for both of them, good luck, may the best man win.
Steve Q, would you promote Kugan versus Flintoff? How many could you sell for it, and would it be pay-per-view?
No.
What, you wouldn't promote me and Flintoff?
So no, because it's awful.
Really, you wouldn't promote it? Just as a little
I think we're a bit busy.
4-rounder at York Hall?
No. Next one.
If Bellew wins the WBC belt, could you get him a unification fight with Nathan Cleverly at Goodison?
Yeah. It'll be pay-per-view. And they'd have no choice.
Who's the best pound for pound that's not a world champion and matchroom?
Kell Brook.
Mervyn Cato, new rule, you could only promote 3 fighters. What ones?
What, of my stable?
Yes.
Fucking hell. Well, you'd have to say the world champs, firstly. Froch and Burns. Oh, I don't know, after that, it's a tough one.
You've got to answer it. Transparently.
I think in terms of who's... I think Tony's going to beat Adonis Stevenson for the WBC. But I think Kell's got a lot of ability.
And Barker's going to beat Gill.
Barker's going to beat Gill, Lee Selby's going to win it. Oh, I don't know.
Just pick one. Go on. You're going to get hammered anyway.
Only because he's got a world title fight before anyone else, Darren Barker. Because he's going to be the next world champion, so then that would be 3 world champions.
Luke Middleton, take Floyd out. Who's the best boxer on the planet? Quite interesting this one.
Vladimir Klitschko.
Okay. Conor Martin 91. Do you fear that Brian Rose is very decent but just short of world level, or has injury really hampered his last
I think
few
injury has really hampered his last couple of fights. He's proved that he's at British European level. He hasn't proved that he's at world level. Can he get there? I believe he can, but he's going to have to get in and prove it, and that will be sooner rather than later. So the answer to that is I don't know how far Brian Rose can go. He's definitely British European level. Can he be world level? We'll find out.
Okay. If you could take one fighter from Golden Boy, who would it be?
Floyd Mayweather.
Isn't that really good?
Well, he's a good Golden Boy, isn't he? I mean, well, kind of. I mean, they promote his shows. I still like Broner. I didn't look great against Paulie, and was he being an idiot the other night? I think was he? I don't know. Got some great fighters, Golden Boy.
Who's your favourite British promoter other than yourself? I like that. I like.
Well, in what respect?
Well, just favourite, just like.
Dave Coldwell.
Yeah.
I like his passion for the fights, and I like the way he treats his fighters.
Michael Shepherd. Who do you think the best lightweight domestic boxer is, excluding Ricky Bones?
You'd have to say Crawler at the moment. And, you know, I know Derry Matthews fans might argue with me, but the person who's had the best win is Anthony Crawler.
Okay.
But what a division. You know, yeah. Crawler, Burns, Matthews, Mitchell, Coyle, Woodhouse, Cardle, Murray coming back.
Murray,
you know, brilliant division. Sorry if I missed anyone out.
James McGee. Even though Frampton's left, could you still do a show in Belfast with McCloskey, Jamie Conlon, etc., other Irish prospects?
I don't think, you know, where we're going at the moment in terms of the shows, it would be difficult for me to headline a bill with those fighters unless they were in a huge fight. I mean, you know, there was talks of Mumbai against McCloskey. It's just not big enough, you know, for where we want to go moving forward. It might have been 6 months ago or a year ago, but you know, I love Belfast. I think it's brilliant. I mean,
okay. Jake Jacobson, what has been the lowest point in your career?
When it all started with Audley Harrison, I mean, you know, that was the Audley Harrison fight against David Hay. The journey was so surreal getting there, but then obviously the disappointment of the night. And when you know, don't get me wrong. Look, I thought he could win that fight. I thought he had the tools if he applied himself to trouble David Hay. And you get behind the team, you build the fight, you know. And then I was so green around the ears right then about the boxing industry. But I remember leaving the arena when walking out of Audley, and someone leaned over from the top of the tiers and said, "Oi, Hearn, you're a shit promoter." I sort of just cowered in, and I went to the sandwich shop up the road. And as I walked in, the geezer went, "Oi, you, 15 quid I paid for that load of shit. You told me he was," you know. And I was thinking, fucking hell, need this like a hole in the head.
Did
So
you give him his money back?
No. But you know, you live and learn.
Okay. Boxing Guru.
Oh, Boxing Guru.
Which fighters do you
see? I like Boxing Guru because he supports me, but he gives me shit at the same time. If he does, you know, he won't just say, "Oh, you know," he'll say, "Good show, that's good," and then, "Fuck me, what did you do that for? That was shit." So I like Boxing Guru.
Okay. Which fighters do you consider to be headlining box office fighters at Matchroom right now?
It's not about the fighter; it's about the fight.
Okay.
So, like, in answer to that, obviously, Froch in the right fight, Brook against Khan for me, pay-per-view. You know, Quigg wins a world title, Frampton eventually wins a world title, maybe. But other than that, you know, I mean, okay. Bellew against Hopkins. I don't know. I mean, it's the fight. It's the fight, not the fighter.
Okay. MC Oku. Are you concerned about BT Sport and where they are going with their broadcasting quest? And do you think there will be another boxing link up with the promoters with regards to them?
I'm not concerned because I'm not a broadcaster. But in answer to your question, BT are going to be very powerful in the sports broadcast world. They're going to have a right go at it. Our loyalties are with Sky. You know, in terms of boxing, Sky have got the #1 promoter, so they've got to be happy. Will BT show boxing? I would think it's inevitable.
Okay. Dominic Round, how far can Ryan Aston go? Anything on a rematch with Curtis Valentine?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened to Curtis Valentine. He's been very quiet since the last prize fight. I don't know if he's packed it in or what. But Aston's a quality fighter. You know, that was a disappointing loss, but he's come back, had a good win the other night, and he'll be on one of our shows in September. So I think Aston's still got plenty of potential in a great division.
Cole.Dave, Kugan, have you been banned from Frank Warren shows? If not, why are you not going? Because of the situation regarding legal proceedings. Until that's resolved, don't feel...
I don't think you've explained that very well.
What do you mean?
You were threatened with legal proceedings.
Threatened with legal proceedings, so until that's resolved, either way, which to my knowledge it hasn't been, then I don't feel it's appropriate to be going to those
Especially
shows.
not when it's costing you money.
Yeah, so are we banned? No, we haven't been banned as far as I know.
No, I don't believe you've been banned.
No, as far as I know we haven't been banned from anywhere, but just until this situation is resolved, if it gets resolved, that's the reason why we're not going to those shows. So, have I answered that right?
That was better.
Okay. Bradley Lancaster, would you be tempted to offer Freddie
What
Finn?
happened with all those, by the way?
What's that?
You just went through about 4 sheets. Have you asked all those?
Yeah, no, it's
Oh, good.
all
I
right.
didn't want people to think you're just picking questions.
No, I'm not picking questions. No, I'm not picking questions. We're going to answer all of these, but just, you know,
Funny.
some of them are in like the silly bracket. You've lost me. Bradley Lancaster, would you be tempted to offer Freddie Flintoff or any other sporting celebs a contract if they were serious about fighting?
No. Well, I'm not. Unless they were quality fighters. Not really into the novelty stuff.
Liam Jones, any plans for Tommy Cole?
Yeah, I'd love to get him to rematch with Derry Matthews, but he'll definitely be a part of our team moving forward and definitely be a part of what we're trying to do in Hull.
Okay. Tom Hallam, chances of seeing Froch Golovkin, and would it be pay-per-view?
Yes, it would be pay-per-view. Chances? Maybe. I think it's a great fight. It's a dangerous fight. You don't know how Golovkin's going to be at 168, but for next summer, it's definitely a fight HBO would want. It's definitely a fight that Spans would want. And I've already spoke to Froch about it, and he's like, yeah, whatever. So.
Okay. Mark Nasser. There's a load of these Nassers. I wonder if they're all related. How long did it take for iFilm to get running? Can you believe how lucky you are? Why did you go on ringside and not James? How long did it take for iFilm to get running? Don't know, because I think we're still running now. Up and running now. I don't think it's the finished article, so it's hard to tell. Probably.
I think it took you a good year to start becoming.
Okay.
Because if you look at like the views, they've gone mental recently in the last 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, if you think we've been going for 2.5 years, in the first year we only got 1 million views.
Now you've had 10 million.
Now we've had nearly 11. So
Sorry
we've
about
had,
that.
well, just quoting,
Get me millions, right?
quoting figures. Yeah, so to answer your question, probably about, after the first year got out of the way, probably after that. Can you believe how lucky you are? Yes and no, because you've got to put the work in to achieve that bit of luck, in my opinion. Why did you go on ringside and not James? As far as I know, ringside would only ever ask one person.
The thing is, if you want me to be brutally honest, I know it's a partnership, but you are probably more prominent in the interviews than James. Probably because you go to more events. And you do download
debatable.
it much quicker than James.
That's not debatable, but the first one is debatable. But no,
I think you do more.
James had a piece of ringside.
I'm not saying James ain't good.
No, but do you not also the thing that they very rarely would have, say, 2 people from Boxing News on there. But I don't know. Maybe you've got to ask Adam Smith that one. Gurjit Channa. Do you think you're alienating yourself from other major promoters and that could hinder you in the future?
Not really. I'm not alienate. I mean, I'm a promoter on Sky Sports. I work with loads of promoters, just not Frank Warren or Frank Maloney. That's the 2 that I haven't worked with. all the others I've worked with. But would I work with them? I'm actually saying that. Ryder's on fighting Billy Joe Saunders. Paul Smith fought Tony. I mean, so we are making fights, but normally just for a purse bid scenario.
Yeah. Steve Abner, Eddie, can you explain the sauna situation regarding Purdy and were you fined over it?
Yes, I was fined. I made a comment which was jovial on Twitter about my old man being in the sauna with Lee Purdy. I mean, my old man flew from London to New York, then got in a car straight to New York to Atlantic City, arrived just at the weigh-in, and then was spent the whole time after that negotiating with Golden Boy and a commission regarding Lee Purdy's weight. So he's 65, he ain't going to be sitting in no sauna. I made a joke which I shouldn't have. I was under pressure getting some stick at the time, and like I said, Bunsey and a few other journos got hold of it and started sending texts out to other managers and telling them to report me to the British Boxing Board of Control. And I went before the British Boxing Board of Control, told them I was sorry, shouldn't have done it, made a donation to the Boxers Benevolent Fund, and all said and done.
Okay. This is from John McCowd and Jordan Green, and there was a couple of others actually. Would you consider putting boxing at the new Leeds Arena? Is there any?
Yeah, definitely. Is that called the FD Arena?
I'm not too sure.
I think it is. I get a lot of tweets about that, and it's supposed to be a great arena. The only issue with that, I think it's theatre style. Do you know what I mean by that? So I think that's where you have, like the Olympia in Liverpool, where you have hardly no back.
Yeah.
And I'm never mad on that, but I've never really had a look at it. I think the darts might be having a look at it as well, but Leeds is a captive area. Obviously we do a lot in Sheffield and now Hull, so it will definitely be on the agenda to have a look.
Marcus Sales, Carrier 5 versus Paul Butler in the next 9 months.
Absolutely, Paul Butler's really come on. I mean, that's a fight that we were looking to make prior to Cal's injury, and since then Butler's just gone through the roof. Looked really, really good. For Cal now, it's all about coming back and easing his way back in. I mean, and that basically involves one fight. As a little comeback fight, and then I want to put him in for the English title, which is vacant at Superfly. But I think down the line, Butler against Yafai is an obvious fight. I mean, it's a really good fight. I think they've sparred together or they've boxed in the amateurs, but Butler looks really good at the moment.
Okay. Scott Mulligan, will you be at the Copper Box for Ryder and Saunders, and what for John if he wins or loses?
Firstly, I think it looks like we've got a show on the 21st of September as well. If we haven't, I'll be there. If we have, my old man will be there at the Copper Box to look after John and cheer him on. I think it's a great fight. I think it's very close. I believe Ryder wins. I think he'll hang in too long for Billy Joe, but Billy Joe's a great fighter. Now, Billy Joe's got to get past Saturday first, and it's only 8 or 9 weeks, so you don't know what's going to happen. He could get cut, he could get injured. So, but John's ready. John's ready for the title, and I believe he's going to win.
Right. Jake,
on it.
Yeah, Jake Smith. Have Liverpool got the best selection of up-and-coming boxers in your opinion?
You'd have to say yes, wouldn't you? I mean, you know, Liam Smith, Paul Smith, Tony Bellew, Stephen Smith, Callum Smith, Tom Stalker, Rocky Fielding. You know, they're a great city of fighters, and they really get behind their own. So as a city, pound for pound city, you'd have to say yes. Although London's probably got a wide range of fighters, but I think, yeah, probably Liverpool.
Okay. M. Bass. Why do you call your fighters your friends, i.e. the ones you've known for 5 minutes?
Well, 5 minutes, I mean, you know, as cheesy as this may sound, it's like a big family here. And obviously you're a lot closer to some fighters than you are to others. Some have got managers that you deal with, some you deal with direct, you know. When you talk about my friends, you know, there's not one fighter that we represent that isn't I wouldn't class as my friend. I mean, I ain't got many friends, that's the other thing. But no, on a serious note, I mean, people like Darren Barker, who I've known for 4 or 5 years, who was our first signing, he's a very close friend of mine. As is Froch, as is Kel, as is Tony Bellew, you know, but all of the boys across the board. You know, obviously you're closer to some than you are with others, but you know, honestly, it feels like it's a family for us here, and that means that you want to give your all for them, and I think that's important. But I want to have that relationship with a fighter, because that means you're going to deliver for them and you'll never let them down. You don't let friends down.
Parker Lee, could be Lee Parker, 84. How would you have managed David Price's career differently?
Look, it's easy. I mean, look, if he beats Tony Thompson, it was the right opponent, wasn't it? But now people are saying, why did he fight Tony Thompson? You know, hindsight is a wonderful thing. Looking back, David Price never beat anybody anywhere close to Tony Thompson. So was he right for Tony Thompson? Why did the Tony Thompson fight happen? Was it just that he'd come cheap? I don't know. Should he have had the rematch? It's difficult to turn it down. I actually think they've done a good job. You know, I mean, look, they're filling arenas in Liverpool for the Tony Thompson fight. Nearly had a good crowd in there the other night. Just wasn't David's time. I do think he can come back. I think he's had too much pressure on him, and I think he needs to box around the country. You know, getting his feet back in where he's not the centre of attention. That's what I think he needs, because he's been carrying one promoter, and he's been carrying that deal on a channel. Everything's been in his hometown. You know, it's a lot to take on at that early stage in his career. But again, hindsight is a wonderful thing. If he knocks Tony Thompson out, it was the greatest move ever.
Okay, let's try and skim through these last ones. Stav Dot Standers, Coog, is it true you walked Ricky Hatton out versus Manny Pacquiao? Yes.
You know these questions that you're saying are for you?
Yeah.
Are they just ones that you want, like, you want to be asked? So did you just make it up?
No, but you could say that about all the questions, couldn't you?
Not really.
Like things that people haven't asked me, I just wanted to ask you myself, and I could have just written down.
What's that?
But they're all written.
Question James 1. Kugan, you are amazing. You know, would you say you were amazing, or is it just everybody else that says it? That question as well.
That's a load of bollocks because you just pulled that out of the air. Can I just get through? We could have answered 2 questions.
Did you walk Ricky Hatton out?
I just said yes. Then
Okay,
I was going to move
question.
on.
Hold on before you go on. You dropped another name down there. You stop looking.
I thought you were going to be dropping money out.
No.
You owe me a score.
I do. I ain't got it on me.
Well, you got euros.
I have.
That was great. I have to use that one. Who's got any money? I've only got euros. You've been a fucking Manchester. Why did you need euros in Manchester? Anyway, Stevie Benson, you asked about 15 questions, sent 15 emails.
Good man, Stevie Benson. Give him a prize.
Okay. Would Sky ever do a boxing channel like what they do with F1?
No. Not a demand.
Ian Moffat, could your VIP service at shows be improved?
Yeah, what's really important about the VIP is, this is standard across the shows, VIP is a free bar, beer and wine, from when the doors open, 5 or 5:30 till 8 o'clock, plus an inner ringside seat, plus food, like canapes, whatever. The problem is, on our website when you book, you're told this, and with the fighter, we give the fighters individual letters to go out with the VIPs, where it explains the setup of the night. Some fighters don't give people that, so when the bar closes at 8 o'clock, they go, "Whoa, we need people out of the bar at 8 o'clock to come and sit down, we're going live on air." So in answer to the question, yes, things can always be improved, but our VIP tickets sell quicker than any other ticket we've got on sale. And I think generally it's a great service. And you know what? For 150 quid for a big, whole was 150 for an inner ringside seat, free bar for 3 hours, food, I think it's great value.
Okay. Right, Sean Brushett, Joe O'Donnell, Dean Hurst and Joe Desmond are all asking about, right, Sean Brushett first, chances of quick fighting on the Hay and Fury undercard?
Yeah, good chance.
Okay, is there an update on the Hay and Fury undercard?
No.
Will there be matchroom fighters though on the Hay and Fury undercard? From Joe Desmond.
There will be matchroom fighters. So I'm just there will be matchroom fighters on the undercard. Yes.
Okay. Dean Hurst, would you prefer it if Froch and Crows didn't fight? No.
Not really. I think it could be built into a bigger fight next year, but one's a mandatory, one won't relinquish the title. It's a great fight. Let it happen.
How far, Mervyn Cato, how far do you think Eric Oshian can go?
He's got to beat Liam Smith. I think it's a really tough fight. I think Liam Smith's a good fighter, so is Eric. And we'll find out how far he can go when he fights Liam Smith.
Alright, I think, to be honest, I'm just checking I haven't missed any. Your next show in Liverpool from Liam Willoughby?
Might be in September. We'll announce something on that next week.
Alright. Proudest moment of your career from Luke Middleton?
Probably Froch Butte. Froch Kessler. Could be Darren Barker. Will be Darren Barker.
If Alan Lawrenson, if Bazza was still running the show, what would you be doing?
Might be working in boxing with him. Might be running another sport.
Fishing.
Darts.
Fisher. Yeah.
Fishermania.
Fisher. Could you see Brooke going in against Broner?
Yes. Discussed it the other day with Schaefer actually.
Really?
Mm.
What, for here?
Essentially.
Alright. Well, listen, I think I've gone through all the ones that are thinking. Obviously, right, there was 1,700 or whatever there was. So, we couldn't ask all of them. So I apologise if your question wasn't asked. Is there anything you want to say?
Not really. I mean, obviously it's the end of the season. So I want to thank everyone for their support as always. And, you know, there's so many big bits of news coming out in the next couple of weeks. Brooks' opponent, obviously just done Quig Salinas, Froch's next fight. Darren Barker fighting in August for the world title. You know, some interesting news on the business side as well. A couple of new signings coming in the close season. You know, it's buzzing at the moment. I mean, most people normally take a little bit of time off in the off season, but it's just full steam ahead because we're cracking right on now. And I'm really pleased with how everything's going. And thanks to you as well for another season. Looking forward to getting back in September.
Definitely. Can't you give people a slight inkling about Brooke? Because give them something.
I did. I said 5 names or 4 names who it's between.
Which I couldn't name. I don't know too.
Like,
I was trying not to name him because I knew I was trying not to name him.
I'm going to say it to you and see if someone can pick up, like, because I always think this, if I say a name within a few names, could you get it? So if I went like this and said Mosley, Josecito Lopez, Senchenko, Van Heerden, Guerrero, could be one of them. See if anyone can guess by the way I said one of those names in particular. You know what I mean? If a little bead of sweat dropped off me or something like that as I said it.
Are you sure it's one of them?
Might be.
That's cool.
Anyway, I'm
Right.
roasting out here.
I know.
Cheers, son.
Alright, well listen, thanks Eddie for taking your time to answer these questions. We'll do another one whenever it's relevant. And where are you going now?
Uptown.
What are you doing?
Meetings.
With who?
Can't tell you.
Okay.
Alright.
Kugan Cassius with Eddie Hearn here at the Matchroom headquarters. Thank you very much.